morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to Citizen A, where we wrap up the week's current affairs with the best political team on television from a very Auckland perspective. Warning, we're as fair and balanced as Fox News. Joining me tonight on my revolving panel of bloggers, Phoebe Fletcher from the Auckland University Film, Television and Media Department, and Selwyn Manning, editor of the best independent news site in New Zealand, scoop.co.nz. Welcome to you both. Coming up tonight, the government's new 90-day right to sack. Is it a declaration of war against the unions or an Adam Smith free market workers' utopia? Guns don't kill people. People with guns kill people. How exactly will arming our police force make things safer? And we'll end the show on a final word, but let's kick things off with issue one this week. The Minister for Masochism, Jerry Brownlee, had his mining aspirations buried in a deep open pit mine with a U-turn on mining Schedule 4 land so severe it made Jerry look like he was a secret undercover Green Party agent. Phoebe, what does this tell us about National's political management? Is it just a smokescreen to keep Nikki Kay in Auckland Central, or did they just go through this entire thing for the fun of it?
Well, I don't think it's about Nikki Kay, because if you look at the Super City candidates at the moment, they make her look normal. No, I really don't think that National intended the backlash that they got. And I think we can tell this by the way that John Key profiled this issue in Parliament in February. And all of a sudden, they didn't expect the 37,000 submissions. They didn't expect the marches up Queen Street, or maybe they did, but not quite as much as they got. And now we're seeing a sudden distancing of Key from Brownlee, which tells us that this was something they really didn't predict. And if you see the newspapers over the last couple of days, now we've got the mining companies coming out and actually critiquing the national government's media management of it. So no, I think this is a very big kind of public relations boo-boo on their part that was not managed very well, and something that they did not predict at all.
So it was a cock-up?
I think you would have to say it was.
Selwyn, let's count them off. The overvaluation of the mineral wealth based on mining lobbyist fantasies, the false insinuation that the return would outweigh the damage to our clean green brand, and a misrepresenting of the amount of land to be mined with an incorrect Eden Park analogy. Jerry Brownlee works about as well as Telecom XT. He's got to go, doesn't he?
Well, it's not going to go. We know that. In some people's minds, you know, Jerry Brownlee should have gone a long time ago. I think the fact of the matter is that National Party actually was really intent on doing this. And its fallback position, now it's backed off it, is that it was some sort of public opinion test.
Right.
But that's certainly not the case. And that's just, you know, spin. And the whole thing really boils down to trying to squeeze as much as it can for the economy out of New Zealand's natural resources at a time when commodity prices are dubious at best.
You don't see Jerry maybe being pushed back from the front bench?
You know,
he's got to be punished, doesn't he? Doesn't he deserve a spanking?
But he won't. I mean, I would take a more cautious approach to this. I would watch the detail of exactly what comes out of this from here on in.
Right.
Remember, they're talking Schedule 4. Are they going to take stuff out of Schedule 4, shuffle other stuff in that's actually going to be just as bad as what they were trying to peddle out there to the public before?
Right. Phoebe, pretend I'm a National Party voter who loves John Key. Loves John Key. And I say to you, damn you, you damn greenies. Congratulations on being part of a decision against mining that helps bankrupt New Zealand. This will end universal superannuations, student loans, social welfare. You greenies did it. You ruined New Zealand. You made my grandchildren poor. Well done. What's your response?
Well, I think you would have to look at the way that the National Party has been very critical of Labor, because they see them as wanting to generate jobs in the public sector to get us out of this recession. And since 2004, that has certainly been the area of the most growth. Although I think you would have to argue with something like mining, there is a strong argument there that we need to look towards sustainable industries. I mean, clearly mining is a limited resource. If we talk about tourism, this is something that our economy generates $15 billion a year of. So I think there's a strong argument there that there are other ways. You know, National need to start thinking outside of the box. And that 53% of people do not want mining on our conservation lands is a really good sign that they need to start doing this promptly.
Are you saying the economic argument for mining isn't as solid as perhaps John and Jerry pretended?
I'm saying that this has to be balanced against the needs of our people and their wants and desires, which is something that they clearly went against. I think, economically, obviously there's resources there, but I think that, potentially does have an impact on our tourism as well.
So National told the mining industry in 2006 that they intended to mine conservation land, but National didn't really tell the electorate in 2008. What happened here? Did the check bounce? What is the mining industry going to do now?
Well, the mining industry is trying in some ways to cozy up to the National Party's thing. I mean, the same spin line is coming from the mining industry that this was a test of public opinion on this issue. But that's clearly not the case. Obviously they're there in the business of actually taking resource out of New Zealand, sending it overseas, represented by multinationals overseas, and New Zealand getting some sort of arguable kind of royalties ticket on the way through. That's not going to return anything to New Zealand, but really getting back to it, the mining industries and obviously the National Party and their policy development had watched what was happening in the United States under the Bush administration. Mining national parks over here, they thought, let's have a go at this in New Zealand, but it was an affront to the Kiwi way.
Right. It's pretty pathetic, isn't it? I mean, in Australia, the mining industry has the power to effectively instigate their own corporate coup to put in their own leader that they want, who's not frightening them. In New Zealand, they can't say boo within a radius of Auckland and an SUV electric car's ability to drive around to even think about doing mining, can they?
No, they can't. And there are people in their own camp that are saying, don't do this to us, that the electorate in that centrist area of New Zealand is delicate, and National does not want to see itself getting into marginal minor party or minor kind of position as a government in New Zealand.
No. Phoebe, who wins from this U-turn and why?
Well, I think the people win. Clearly, I mean, this is an instance of people power. 53% of people don't want it. The National Party loses.
So, and who wins with this U-turn?
The Kiwi public wins on this. Clearly, there were 40,000 people that were marching up Queen Street, but right across this country, there were people out there putting their feet to the ground saying, we don't like this mining policy. It's a win for them. This government is timid when public opinion wanders away from them, particularly that area of centre ground, and it's a loss for the National Party. It engineered a whole plan on the New Zealand economy progressing in its view on mining, and that medium term has been affected.